Angie, I know you've been to see what was unveiled today. What do you think of it?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful memorial. When you look at the one side where it stands out from the building and you see sort of the Afghan and the Iraq names and, you know, what they've written there, and then you go around and you see the civilian side of it, and it's a beautiful memorial. Yeah,
because let's not forget, of course, there were hundreds of services personnel who died across those conflicts, but more than 140 civilians as well, and they did good work there, Simon, in both countries.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously there was uniformed services, engineers, technicians that were helping to rebuild the infrastructure and put things back in place that needed doing, and they were a vital part of actually trying to reconstruct the country after the war had devastated it.
Do you think it's a vital thing to have a memorial like this?
I think it's important that everybody has somewhere where they can go, and I think that in a public place actually you can be quite private in a public place, and I do think it's important to go there and have somewhere where you feel that's part of your life, part of your sort of journey, if as it were, and you can have your moment there, realising that everyone else is showing respect too. It's quite a moving monument, I think.
Angie, what went through your mind as you were looking at it? Did you reflect on your time in Afghanistan?
I did, and obviously you think about the people you left behind. You think about what you went through out there and what you saw, and then you do think about everything, you know, sort of how it changes you when you come back. And it is, you know, sort of like Simon says, it really hit home to me today that that's part of my life. You know, that's something that I contributed to my country, but that I'm there, it's something permanent.
Contribute to your country, and of course it's the personal feelings, it's the people you dealt with that I'm sure you'll remember the most. But of course there's still an awful lot of emotional discussion about whether our involvement in either country was worthwhile, Simon. Does that matter at all?
I think for this monument it doesn't. I think, you know, you got to look at it happened, we did everything we could. You know, Angie and I have both lost friends, close friends. And, you know, families have been destroyed, and that can never be replaced. But to have something like that to say, this is there in memory of them, rather than actually just sort of getting upset about what could have been, should have been, let's just honour those who have gone and respect those who did put sort of their lives on the line, but luckily might have got away with it.
And look, I think certainly since these conflicts, if we've learned anything, it's how to try to treat soldiers after they've fought. Now, it's one thing for you, Angie, because you were a paramedic before and after you were a reservist, so you can almost slot back into your old life in a way. Maybe not. Maybe not. But in some ways, are we still neglecting people who've served their country?
I think one of the legacies from these conflicts, to be honest, is the way the public have really sort of engaged and supported the military charities and the veterans and sort of family communities. They did put, you know, in 2007, that massive swing to support the forces community. But today, I would never have had the opportunities I've had to rebuild my life had the public and had the charities not existing. You know, blind veterans not only gave me the opportunity to rebuild my life, but then offered me a job and let me get back into work, which means I can now contribute back to my society, which I don't think those opportunities were as prevalent before these conflicts.
Angie?
Definitely. If you think of the upsurge in the support for not only the military as a whole, but the veterans, with the amount of charities that are now out there, you know, the organisations that go on, the events that go on, and every single one of them is to support our veterans in the military, and I think it's an amazing thing.
But look, we've seen more attacks in Afghanistan recently. The last day or so, attack on a hospital. There are still 13,000 NATO troops in that country and calls for more to be on the ground. Will the job there ever be finished? Should we go back in and perhaps finish what we were involved with starting?
I think that's probably not for me to debate. You know, I went out there to do my job. And as a soldier, that's what we do. You know, we let the higher powers debate where we should and shouldn't be. And we just know we go out there and do our best wherever we do go.
You know, I saw that myself, Simon, with the soldiers there when I went to Afghanistan back in 2009. They wanted to just get on with the job of soldiering. They weren't particularly interested in asking questions why.
Yeah, it's exactly like, so we're not dumb followers, but we do have a task to fulfil. And when you do go out there, you know, you do everything you can in your power to come back, not just in one piece physically, but mentally, and come back with all your colleagues and your mates. And that means that you've got to be professional, you've got to be honest, you've got to maintain your integrity. and do the job you're asked to do. And like I say, as Angie rightly points out, we'll do it in Afghanistan, we'll do it in Iraq, and we'll do it on our own shores if that's necessary. We're proud to serve our nation, and we hope that they're proud of the job we do.